what the black man and woman needs to know about the nation, about the world, about themselves. Muhammad Speaks It. To order your 12-issue subscription to Muhammad Speaks newspaper, 313-371-7033. 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie is the grand champion of all bean pies. The rich flavor and smooth texture takes this pie to a whole new level of delicious. One bite and you'll understand why people all over the country call daily to order Kareem Bean Pie. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie.
This bean pie is delicious.
Kareem's Bean Pie is also available at Davison Fresh Fish Market, 1520 East 7 Mile Road in Detroit. Royal Fresh Fish and Seafood, 11429 East 7 Mile Road in Detroit. And Great Canadian Fish, Chicken, and Seafood, 7601 East 7 Mile Road. Muhammad Speaks presents Messenger Elijah Muhammad's Teachings by Minister Khalil Shabazz every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, 12609 East McNichols Road in Detroit.
Brother and sister, rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praises due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live, You alone do we serve, and You alone beseech for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray if they heard thy teachings. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is heard to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farah Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is thy true servant and last apostle. Ameen. We'd like to acknowledge the brothers and sisters that extended us the greetings of Assalamu alaikum. We have Brother Michael Shabazz from Long Beach. We have Brother Abdul Aziz Ali from Newport News, Virginia. We have Brother Minister Khalil Muhammad from Florida. We have Brother Ibrahim Muhammad from Tampa. We have Brother Abdul Ali from Tampa. We have Brother Minister Isaac Farah Shabazz Muhammad from Brooklyn, New York. We have Brother Calvin Shabazz from Atlanta. And we have the Rafiq family. I'd like to say in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farah Muhammad, and in the name of his last and greatest messenger, the most honored Elijah Muhammad, I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. Today we're going to talk about the February 7, 1969 Muhammad Speaks, and it's called Time and Confusion. And the messenger says, the time of confusion of nations have fallen upon the world in which we now live. Who shall survive in such time of trouble and confusion? He says, the ever hovering dark war clouds of death keep the minds of the heads of nations from ever concentrating sanely concerning the way in which they should react under such trouble and dark world of confusion. Now, what does confusion mean? So we can understand what the nations, like all of the countries and nations of the earth today, is under confusion. And the messenger says that these dark clouds of death, the war clouds of death, keep the minds of the heads of state from being able to think sanely about what should we do in this time of confusion. Because the black man confused too.
That's right.
The white man is also confused.
That's right.
And confusion means a situation in which people are uncertain about what to do or are unable to understand something clearly. It says the feeling that you have when you do not understand what is happening, what is expected, etc. It says a state or a situation in which many things are happening in a way that is not controlled or orderly. That's what confusion means. Like stuff just keep happening. We don't understand why it's happening and why it continue to happen. It's just happening here and there.
Yeah.
We had yesterday another mass shooting. This is from CNN. It says a shooting rampage that left 4 dead started with a traffic stop in West Texas. Now we got in Texas again. Now this was supposed to be a few hundred miles away from El Paso, Texas, where they just had the devil shooting the people in the Walmart.
Right.
This was a few hundred miles away. So it says, a man who pulled over by Texas trooper shot at them with a rifle and sped off. It says setting off a terrifying rampage that ended with 4 victims dead and 21 injured, police said. After he opened fire during a traffic stop Saturday in Midland, the gunman drove on streets and highways, spraying bullets randomly at residents and motorists. He then hijacked a postal truck and ditched his gold Honda, shooting at people as he moved his way into Odessa, about 20 miles away. There, police confronted him in a movie theater parking lot and killed him in a shootout. So this devil was just in the car just shooting at random people. Just shooting at random people, motorists and residents.
Mm-hmm.
This is a time of confusion.
Right.
Because the devil just had the shooting in El Paso, where this devil just killed 21 people. And they were saying that some commissioner was having some meeting on terrorism in Midland. He was supposed to be there today. They were supposed to go to Midland, and they say Midland is where George W. Bush and Laura Bush from.
Oh, okay.
They from Midland, Texas. So this thing is getting out of hand.
That's right.
And this confusion and this fear that's on the minds of the heads of nations don't even let them be able to think sanely about what should we do in this time of confusion.
That's right. Yes, sir.
That's the state that we in today. And the messenger goes on to say, he says their vision is lost due to their confusion, which causes fear. Fear has taken away the master of self-control. What will be the end of this confusion, which has taken away the vision of the wise? They don't even have a vision of the future.
Right.
This confusion is just gripping their mind so much that they don't even have vision about what to do, what's going to happen, what the future looking like. It's just fear
Right.
and a state of confusion. So the messenger says, can we, the black people, see any hope for us in the future of a people under this condition? Confused and confusion running them mad.
That's right.
Because these devils that's doing these shootings is shooting because in El Paso, Texas, he feel like these Mexicans about to take over. Then you had the devil Dylan Roof. He felt the same way about black people.
That's right.
They just in a state of confusion. Then you got Trump feeling like I want to fight terrorism, but I'm going to build a wall to separate America from Mexico. State of confusion.
Right.
So the messenger says, can we, the black people, see any hope for us in the future of a people under this condition? Confused and confusion running them mad. The messenger say we should turn to our own God who offers us a great future and lead his people to God.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. That's it.
That's what they reap what they sow.
That's right.
Leave them to God.
Right.
Don't feel sorry for them. This is what you sow.
That's right.
You reap what you sow.
That's right.
But we love to death.
Yes, sir.
This is a picture. This went viral, as they say. This is a picture of this little brother comforting this devil who he saw at school. This is a picture that his mother shared on Facebook. She says, I'm so proud of my son. He seen a kid balled up in the corner crying, so he went to console him, grabbed his hand and walked him inside the school. It is an honor to raise such a loving, compassionate child. He's a kid with a big heart. The first day of school started off right.
All right. Yes, sir.
Helping the little devil.
Right. Yes,
You know, he got a big heart.
That's right.
That's what we say.
Yeah.
No, we don't got a big heart. It's like the messenger said. We the deafest, the dumbest, and the blindest.
That's right. That's
Because
right.
in this picture, see all these little devil kids up here? It look like this devil's still on his phone. He ain't studying that little boy. He'll be all right. What you crying for? He gonna be hurt? What's gonna happen to him? Nothing. Let him cry. Why do we, as black people, feel like if you see this little devil crying, now you gotta console? We used to be in the white man's nigga. We used to that. We used to every time something wrong with the white man, we go, what's wrong, boss? It's in our DNA. Because in the lessons it say a Muslim don't love the devil regardless of how long he studies. It ain't in our nature to love the white man.
That's right.
We know why we made him. We made him to be an enemy to the black nation. That's why we made him. We made him to be an enemy to the black nation, but we deaf, dumb, and blind. It's like a little kid who see a pit bull. Pit bull stuck in the bushes. So that kid got a big heart. I'm going to go help the pit bull. He deaf, dumb, and blind. Because pit bulls maul little children to kill them. The first law of nature is self-preservation.
That's true.
It's the first law of nature. If we wasn't deaf, dumb, and blind, it wouldn't make no difference to us about no white man crying. Because we would know that he was made to be destroyed. All praise to Allah. The messenger said, this ain't it for this little white boy. The messenger said the worst is yet to come.
That's right.
So what you gonna do when fire drop on this devil? You gonna try to help him? You gonna try to console him? You gonna try to rub his head? No. The messenger says save yourself.
That's right.
That's what you should do. Save yourself. You ain't gonna be able to help the white man. And this is what the messenger said in Message to the Black Man. And this, he was talking about this black man named Henry Smith who was burned alive. He said, this is something the teachers and leaders of the so-called Negroes should teach their children. The evil and murder of their people by these blue-eyed white devils. Instead, because of their fear of the white blue-eyed devils, the so-called Negro parents teach their children just the opposite. Their doctrine is love your enemies and do not hate those who mistreat you. That is if he is a white person. But if he's a Negro, kill or beat the hell out of him. We got plenty of all this black on black stuff. Whenever you see a black person kill another black person and they family in court, they like throw the book at him. No, he done killed my family member. Justice would be him getting death. But every time you see a black person or a white person kill a black person unjustly, we talk about how we forgive. Talk about how much we love. Because you know we got a big heart when it comes to death. Because if we had this kind of a big heart for each other, we wouldn't be in this condition.
That's right.
When it comes to all the big heart stuff. The big heart only comes when it's concerning the death. Because we got another incident. This brother right here, 10 years old, another kid. Where do the big heart people be when they black? Don't be no big hearts. See, just a nigga. Everybody see the black man as a nigga. The kids too. This little boy has a disorder. And he has problems with his vision. He was playing in his grandmother's yard, in her front yard. So the white police officer said they was looking for 2 armed robbers. So they see this 10-year-old black boy playing in his mother's or in his grandmother's yard. He's disabled. You can tell a disabled child. He's disabled and he had vision problems. So the white police officer put his gun to the little brother's head. Where the big heart's at? Ain't nobody got no big heart. Because it says, no investigation after officer points gun at boy. Ain't even no investigation. That was getting on there like, hey, my bad. We was looking for 2 armed robbers. My police officer pulled the gun to the little boy's head. It is what it is. Where all the big heart people? The big hearts, you know, got a big heart. Start the school year off right. Nobody care. Then you got another. This happened in Utah. This happened in Canton, Michigan. This little brother was playing dodgeball. These little devils at school. So he threw the ball and hit the little devil in the head. So they wanted to charge this brother with assault. He 10 years old. Where the big heart people at? Where all the big hearts? Where the big heart people? Nobody got no big heart. This devil's mama, who knew her son had some type of ailment. And it happened before where another kid, when they was playing dodgeball, hit this little boy before. So the white mother was on TV talking about how that time the little boy apologized and her little son said, that's all right, mommy. But I guess with the little black boy, ain't nobody got the big heart, so hey, let the police get him. They arrested this little brother, 10 years old, for playing dodgeball with the white boy who been playing dodgeball. How you supposed to know something wrong with him if this happened before and they still letting him play dodgeball? So how I'm supposed to know? But see, we don't have a big heart when it comes to the black man. It's always the big heart when it comes to the devil. We see the devil over there crying like, oh, I'm so proud of my son having a big heart for this devil. But don't nobody have no big heart when it comes to the black man. Then we got another. This is a little Mexican girl. All them detention centers they got, taking these children from their parents. Read about the condition of them detention centers. All of the bed bugs they say they got. The diseases that's in there. Talking about the toilets overflow. Where the big heart people? She crying. Ain't nobody got their arms around her. Ain't no big heart people, but the devil though. You know, we feel so sorry. We see the devil like, oh, let's just help the little poor kid, you know. Got the big heart, everybody's so proud. But when there's somebody black, hey, lock that nigga up. Hey, he threw that ball at that little boy.
Right.
Lock him up. Grown people will listen and see them arresting a little kid and not say, man, wait a minute. Yeah. You call the police on the little 10-year-old boy. Ain't no big hearts. Where the teachers with the big heart? Where the parents with the big heart? Where the mother with the big heart? Like this happened to my son before. The teacher shouldn't have let him play. She the one who should be charged with assault. Why the teacher let him play? None of that. The little kid. He was crying. Nobody cared. Because ain't nobody got no big heart for the black man. So the messenger said, that's what we should teach our children. So they won't have such big hearts. Now we have what you call common courtesy when it comes to white people. Common courtesy that you give all human beings.
Right.
Common courtesy. If you walking out the door of the store and you know it's the devil behind, you shouldn't take the door and just slam it in their face. Shouldn't do that. You should treat them with respect. You should respect all people.
That's right.
Please, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. Politeness. Manners. That's what you should give all human beings. But that's where it should end. All this extra stuff. All this brotherly love stuff. No. The messenger said there is no sincere love between black and white.
Right.
That's what the black man needs to know.
Yes.
Because the white man don't show you the same love that we show them.
That's right.
They never had. They don't even show our children love.
That's right.
The police will put a gun to the head of a disabled 10-year-old kid. And the public it's no outrage. Don't be no outrage when Tamir Rice, 12 12-year-old little boy playing with a toy gun. When the police rolled up to him and just shot him in their car. Where was the big heart people? Well, nobody with no big hearts. They go before these big professional people, judges and lawyers. They still ain't had no big heart. He deserved it. He should have. Shouldn't have had the gun. But when it comes to the white kids, that's when we got the big heart. The master say no. He says, how can we keep our young people of the present day from loving their open endings? It's the message. No. Even in, I think it was that Theology of Time. He said, if you go up and ask one of them Muslim children about the white man, they say they go to the blue-eyed devil.
Right.
All praise due to Allah. That's what he said. That's what our children gonna say. They go to blue-eyed devil.
Right.
He ain't say nothing about no big heart. Said when you ask the Muslim children about the blue-eyed devil, it's the blue-eyed devil. The messenger even was talking in that Theology of Time. And I was like, wow. See, I got white neighbors. Like I don't talk to them or speak to them unless they speak to me. That's what he said. He said this over the roster. He wasn't saying it in secret. He said, I don't speak to them unless they speak to me. He was talking about how he hated to hear black people say, oh, hey, how you doing? To white people all cheerfully, like, hey, how you doing? That's what he was saying. He didn't like that.
Right.
And that's how Muslims used to be. Because he says, how can we keep our young people of the present day from loving their open enemies, the devil? He says, the Lord God of righteousness dislike any one of us who loves these white blue-eyed devils. Now, you know you're talking to a show-enough Muslim when they say white blue-eyed devil.
Right.
That kind of language is kind of falling by the wayside in this new school stuff. You don't too much hear white blue-eyed devil. But this is how the message used to talk.
Right.
Says, how can we keep our young people from loving these devils? He says, the Lord God of righteousness dislikes any one of us who loves these white blue-eyed devils. He threatens to send every one of us to hell with the devils who shows love for them, loves to be called by the devil's names, or worship their image. Read your Bible and Holy Quran. So, while this little young brother got this big heart, they said the road to hell is paved with good intentions. That's what the old saying goes. So all that big heart stuff ain't gonna stop you from going to hell.
That's right.
So this little young brother who growing up, his mama raising him to love the devil, he see the little devils, hurt. He feel hurt. So what's gonna happen to this little brother if he keep going in that direction? Loving the devil. What's gonna happen? Well, I got a fire for both, black and white, who love the devil. That's what the message said.
That's right.
That's what black people need to hear. This is a time of confusion. We need to lead these people to God.
That's right.
All praise to Allah. That's what it is. That ain't teaching hate. It's 949 to 242. That's God's law. So they read what they sow. Just like when they lock up one of our children. Say, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. What they say, they don't have nothing but these harsh words towards us. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
That's right.
Same thing with them. You did the crime, you got to do the time.
That's right.
Why is that racist? Because we teaching our children not to love the devil. Ain't nothing racist about that. That's self-preservation.
That's right.
Praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir.
First law of nature is self-preservation.
That's right.
That's the first law. You got to love yourself before you love anybody else.
That's right.
So we got to teach our children to love themselves. Love yourself first.
Right.
Because the messenger got a section in the Fall of America. It's called Self First. The messenger says, trying to win the love of the white slave master has been our black people's greatest mistake. Now it has become our gravest mistake. To have love for them, the right race, means the fire of hell that God has heated and being heated up for both you who love the devil and the devil too. Straight up. That big heart stuff. It's going to get you hell. I would rather somebody tell me that so I'll have a chance. At least you know. At least you can make up your mind and say, okay, I know that, but I still love this devil. And it's like, hey. But to not know, to let this little young brother continue to love these devils, feel sorry for them, you know what I'm saying, when something happened to him, you doing the brother the disservice.
That's right.
That's what you doing. You doing a disservice to the brother. Because if you would have told this brother from the cradle, leave them devils alone. What's wrong with that? These devils up at the top don't care nothing about him crying. So why should the little black boy? But if you say stuff like that, you racist. All these little white kids lined up, they ain't even paying this devil no attention. Because the mother saw this. This wasn't even nothing that everybody was focusing on this little boy. The mother dropped this little boy off. She saw him helping this little devil, and she took the picture. But when you look at everybody else, they wasn't paying this devil no attention. But when the white man saw such a foolish black parent, they made this go viral. This was viral on Fox 2, Detroit, and it was on CNN. Showing the good-hearted little black boy with the white kid, because the white man know what it is. Show the rest of these deaf, the dumbest, the blindest, and the deafest black people. Show them this. This get you attention. This get you love. You know, you got a good heart. You love the white man. They ain't hearing that this will get you hell.
Right.
Loving the white man. This is a time of confusion.
That's right.
This is a time for them to reap what they sow.
Right.
This ain't no time to be feeling sorry for no white boy.
That's right.
He'll be all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. He'll be all right. He used to go to school, cry. How many times you be in school and them little kids be crying?
Right.
Used to cry all the time. When they used to tell us to take a nap, we started crying.
Right. Yes, sir.
They cry all the time. So what he crying? Why we got to care about him crying? But if you say that, you the racist. Love yourself. The first law of nature is self-preservation.
That's right.
So if we know we living in a time of confusion, we need to start thinking about ourselves. All praise is due to Allah. Because if Allah hates the white race, and they was made to be destroyed, then you loving the enemy of Allah.
Yes.
If he made to be destroyed. If a pit bull's nature is to maul your kid, but you let your kid have a good heart to play with him, you the one. Because the pit bull's nature is to do what he doing.
Right.
He not going against his nature. You the fool for being a parent allowing your children to play with a dog like that.
Right.
This brother's, maybe his mama don't know. Stay for it though. For teaching this little black boy to love the devil. That's what it is. Because ain't nothing wrong with you not loving the devil, because they don't even care about this little boy.
Right.
We make a big issue about loving the devil, where it go viral. And we just so happy. And I went to her Facebook page and all her little black friends, oh, we so proud. We so happy. No. He a devil. That's what the messenger said.
That's right.
He said hell is made. And the messenger talked about a real hell. A real fire where the white man is going to be burned alive. That's the way he talked about hell. He didn't talk about hell like it's some spiritual stuff. He said that even the white people of America who's in other countries, Allah gonna take them and gather them back to America and burn them alive here.
Yes.
That's what he said about that hell. He wasn't talking about nothing figuratively. He wasn't talking about nothing spiritually and spooky. He said burn alive.
That's right.
All praise is due to Allah. So if you know these people are destined for that, what you look like letting your kid feel sorry for him? It's a lot more coming for him. It's just a reality. So the messenger goes on to say, he says, do not blame the white slave master for your love and desire for them above your love and desire for Allah who loves you, while the white slave master devils does not love you. The devil's nature will not let him love you. His nature won't even let him love you. Now we love a people whose nature won't even let them love us. But we love them. This little devil probably don't even like black people. His mama probably at home telling him about how nasty niggas is. You don't know that. But you love them. Just like on Roots. We was talking about Roots. When it was time for Kizzy to be sold, did that little white girl care? Did she feel sorry for Kizzy? Did the little white daddy say, well, you taught her how to read? No, sell her. As much as her parents was begging, please, don't sell her. He was looking like, hey, I got to do what I got to do. She know how to read. And that's how white people have been with our children since the beginning. Yes. They don't care nothing about our children. They'll put guns to our children's head. They'll handcuff them. They'll trick them into telling them something. Because the police, when they know how to question you, they know how to ask you certain questions where you incriminate yourself. Right. So they know little kids. We seen that when they see us. They know how to incriminate our kids when they don't have lawyers. And that's exactly what they do. We teach our children to love them. But the messenger goes on to say, he says the white slave master is so full of deceit that he can deceive you and all others, the Bible teaches us. The Holy Quran refers to the white slave master, the devil, as the arch deceiver. He says, as a deceiver, the devil has no equal. He is the professional, the wisest of all deceivers. So from the slave master's preachers, making parents up till today, he is the professional and wisest deceiver of all the civilizations of the earth. And he has deceived all of the civilizations of the earth. He the wisest of the deceivers on the earth. It's the white man. He a professional. This is what he do. He deceive people. Right. It probably ain't even nothing wrong with this little boy. How you know? His mama probably told him he couldn't have a candy bar or something. That's why he mad. Right. Mama probably told him, you're going to get a whooping when you get home. Well, why you know what's wrong with him? Right. But us being black, us being the blindest, the deafest, and the dumbest. See the little white kid. What's wrong with you? No, we want to help. While all the little white kids at the top not paying him no mind. But we can't only be mad at the lost farmers. Because Muslims love the devil too. We got to talk about these Muslims. Because you can cut the lost farmers a little bit of slack. They don't know. Right. You know, they don't know that the white man's the devil. They don't believe that the white man's the devil. But we say we believe that the white man's the devil. Right. So we got these brothers, these Scientology brothers. So we got to talk about them because this Scientology thing is bigger than we might think. There's a lot of people who know about this Scientology stuff. Right. Because when you go out with papers or you meet lost farmers, they talking about that Scientology stuff. Right. They talking about it. They got that Scientology building right downtown across the street from Cobo Hall. Now, think about how much of a mockery that is to the messenger. Because when the messenger used to come to Detroit and speak, they used to speak at Cobo Hall. Right. In the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, when the messenger would come, they would always have in the Muhammad Speaks showing him at Cobo Hall. Now, right across the street from Cobo Hall, you got Scientology where Muslims now promoting that. Promoting love for the devil. Right. All that white man is the devil that the messenger taught. You got Muslims now telling people that it's all right for us to read books from L. Ron Hubbard. Because this brother said, because this is on social media and then people be asking them about that L. Ron Hubbard stuff. So he said, he talking about his leader. He said he didn't advise us to change from what we are taught. He said we should seek truth wherever it is. That sounds so innocent. You know, we just seeking truth wherever it is, right? That's just simple. We ain't really worshiping the white man. We just seeking out truth. But what did the messenger teach us about seeking truth wherever it is? Did he speak against it? Because no matter what people talk about, when you think about the messenger, he done dealt with that subject. I don't care what it is. If you read enough Muhammad Speaks newspapers, if you read enough Message to the Black Man Fallen America, every subject that we talk about today, the messenger done covered. That's right. He talked about seeking truth wherever it is. And this comes from the Message to the Black Man in the section called Allah, the Best Knower. He says there are many other chapters of the Holy Quran Sharif that open with the above words, Allah is the best knower. It says the beautiful teachings of the Holy Quran have no equal in other scriptures. He says all the so-called Negro preachers should have one. But be sure it is one translated by Yusuf Ali or Maulana Muhammad Ali. Any other translation of the Holy Quran by Christian authors is as poisonous to the reader as a rattlesnake. He didn't tell them just seek truth wherever it is. Some Christians got Holy Quran. Get you a Christian Holy Quran. All kind of enemies of Prophet Muhammad writing Holy Quran, just seek the truth wherever it is. He told you specifically where to seek truth.
Right.
Because he told you any other translations translated by Christian authors is as poisonous as a rattlesnake.
Right.
Then he goes on to say, what I am trying to make clear is that white people do not believe in Allah and Islam or the prophets of Allah. Why then should you seek the truth of it from them? You will soon come to know that you should not seek any truth from them. All praise to Allah. Messenger ain't tell us to just seek truth wherever it is.
Right.
Because you got truth mixed with falsehood.
Right.
So if you going to seek truth wherever it is, you will let the devil come to the temple and teach you truth mixed with falsehood. If we seeking truth wherever it is, this devil talking the truth. Come on to the temple and teach us your truth mixed with falsehood, because we seeking truth wherever it is. Tell us a little bit of truth. So if you seeking truth wherever it is, and it's truth mixed with falsehood, how much falsehood do it got to be for you to say, nah, we don't want that truth? Or if it's 50-50, that's cool. What's the ratio? Because the messenger didn't teach us to seek truth wherever it is.
Right.
But these slick, smart, crooked deceivers, they smart.
That's right.
So what they do is they say, well, have you ever went to college? How many of your professors is white? They go with you on that. Talking about your professors. How many colleges that you went to that was black? So now people looking like, well, yeah, you know, I done been to college. I done had white professors. So yeah, I seek the truth wherever it is too. But the messenger dealt with that too. Let's go to, this is the November 21st, 1969 Muhammad Speaks. And it's called Qualifications is a Must. It says advanced education. Go to what the messenger said about seeking truth wherever it is. He says the black man, no, excuse me, and this is in the middle of the article. He says, I think, and perhaps you and I will agree, to give proper credit to our white slave masters' children, for they have done a lot of good for us in the way of education. He says, white America has opened many branches of education that you and I could use to serve the purpose of qualifying ourselves to do something for self. So it's a difference between talking about a qualification and talking about truth.
Yes.
Two totally different things. Now what does truth mean? It says a judgment, proposition, or idea that is true or accepted as true. So if you seeking truth wherever it is, you seeking other people's ideas. Because truth is different from a qualification. When you get a qualification, you doing that to get qualified to do a certain task.
Right. Yes, sir.
When you doing a qualification. Like if I get a qualification to drive a truck, which is your commercial driver's license. Now I'm qualified to drive an 18-wheeler.
Yes, sir.
So I can go to Canada with this qualification. I can go to Mexico with this qualification. I can go to Africa with this qualification, because a qualification is not a person's ideas. It's qualifying you for a particular task.
Right.
But when you're talking about truth, you're talking about ideas. You're talking about judgments. You're talking about propositions. And the messenger had, this is the April 29th, 1966 Muhammad speaks. And it's called Confusion of the World. And in this cartoon, you see it has, this brother is stuck in the woods and he lost. And he's trying to find his way. You see on one tree it says politics. Another tree it says integration. Another tree it says false religion. And then another tree it says civil rights. Then you had a white man looking in the trees trying to hide from the brother. Because integration, for an example, is an idea. That's what that is. That's a certain truth from a certain people. That's their idea. God's idea is separation.
Right.
All praises to Allah. So when you're seeking out the truth, this person's truth might be integration. God's truth is separation.
Right.
So that's why the messenger said you shouldn't seek any truth from them.
Right.
Because it's different between seeking truth and seeking qualification.
Right.
Because when you're seeking qualifications, you're seeking a particular task.
Yeah.
So when we look in this cartoon, you see what looked like a little beam of light in the woods. And they got a brother standing there and it says, History and Islam as taught by Elijah Muhammad. That's the only truth we see.
That's
Right.
We don't seek out the truth anywhere it's at. We don't do that. So the messenger goes on in this Muhammad speech to tell us about this education. He says, there is no branch of education, business, manufacturing, agriculture, or chemicology that the white man has not given us the opportunity to obtain. Some knowledge of it. Technology is what we need most now with which to build upon for self. So when the messenger was telling us to go to colleges and schools to get degrees, he was talking about getting degrees in order to do for self.
Right.
He wasn't teaching us to go and seek out the truth from the white man. He was teaching us to go and seek after qualifications so we can build a nation.
That's right.
It ain't had nothing to do with us trying to seek truth after the white man. So the messenger has, in this Muhammad Speaks newspaper, he has a progress section. And in the progress section, he goes even further to break down for us these different areas of education. He says the black man in America must have a good education to make progress and to be successful. This means he must go to school and learn that which other successful nations have learned in the way of education. Because education is universal. When you talk about education. When you're talking about Dianetics, that's not universal. That's another man's idea.
Right.
That's L. Ron Hubbard's idea.
That's right.
And it's another part that I forgot to bring. It's a section in the Message to the Black Man where the messenger talks about submit to Allah. Because a lot of times these Scientology Muslims say, well, we had a problem with leadership. And this is what all of them continue to say. They continue to say that the brothers are a little too militant. They be abusing other brothers. You know, we've been affected by the devil. So, they leader found something in Dianetics that they feel like they can use to kind of chill the brothers out. You know? But when you go to the section in the Message to the Black Man, where the messenger says submit to Allah, he says submit to Allah and see how your condition will change for the better.
Right.
What he said.
Right.
He didn't teach people that it was something outside of Islam that you need to help you with Islam.
No.
That's a hypocrite. The messenger said, be careful who you follow, because you may follow a hypocrite.
That's
right.
right.
Because all praise to Allah.
Right.
Because the one thing about them is they know most of us, we ain't seen the message. We don't know nothing about the message. We got to research about the message. But they can come and act like, I know what the messenger said. I was with him. I was his national representative. So he can make you feel like whatever he's telling you, you should go with that because I'm his national representative. But in this thing where the messenger was giving this brother credit, he said, he is a bearing of witness to me.
That's right.
Bearing a witness to me. He's saying what I'm saying. Because last week we read in the Our Savior Has Arrived, where the messenger said, no man on earth can teach you what I'm teaching you.
That's right.
All we can do is say what he said.
That's right.
That's all we can do.
That's right.
We can't feel like now we can teach people to love the devil. If the messenger said that the white man is the devil, that's what we're supposed to be saying.
That's right.
No matter how times change, no matter how good we think the white man is, we're supposed to be teaching that the white man is the devil.
That's right.
And when you can have a devil come into a temple and teach Muslims, they don't believe in the message.
That's right. That's right.
All praise to Allah.
That's right.
They don't believe in the message.
That's right.
Because the messenger said, he said, how can you be deceived after night?
That's right.
How? He said, you can't be unless you want to be.
That's right.
So ain't all of this feeling sorry. That's why he told us you can't reconvert a Muslim.
That's right.
They got the same information you got.
That's right.
They got the same books you got. They got the same desire that you can have.
That's right.
So if they don't have that, you look like trying to reconvert.
That's right.
If this devil can come in there and convince these brothers that he teaching them the truth, what you about to say to them?
Right.
You about to take the same fall of America they got and start teaching them? Ain't nothing you can do.
That's right.
Because if you, all that the messenger taught us, brothers and sisters, about the white man being the devil, the messenger even teach us how the white man is the devil and how to eat to live. When he talking at how to eat to live about food, he tell us how the white race is a commercialized race.
That's right.
He said they don't have no regular eating habits.
That's right.
He said there's little pure food on the market
That's right.
because of the white man.
Right.
Everything the messenger taught us was based on the white man.
Yes,
And how he was a devil.
That's
And
right.
how he was a blue-eyed devil.
Right.
So, for us now to see that you can have a devil in the temple teaching, they don't believe in the messenger.
That's right.
It's just what it is.
That's right.
They don't believe in the messenger. Ain't no feeling sorry for them and ain't no reconverting them.
That's right.
Because they don't believe in the messenger.
That's right.
Because this devil got truth mixed with falsehood. That's all he telling you. And if he can be allowed to be in the temple and teaching you his lies, with this Scientology, you can't believe in Allah and the messenger. Because they saying the messenger's name. A lot of them. They say the messenger's name. They use Master Farad Muhammad's name only to deceive the people.
That's right.
Because if you believe in the messenger, there is no way that you can believe in the devil.
That's right.
Now, we're not telling you, because we don't want people to get the misunderstanding and think that we trying to tell you to misuse the white man. We're not telling you that. We're telling you to use common courtesy. And this book written by this woman named Jennifer L. Scott. She says, common courtesies are the manners 101 of the etiquette world. She says, sadly, it's a course that most of society is currently flunking. Common courtesy is saying please and thank you, saying excuse me when you bump into someone, holding the door before a person behind you. Common courtesy should govern the way you interact with everyone, from the grocery checkout person to the janitor at your office. And that's even something that they used to teach us in the military. They used to teach us to respect other cultures. Even though these people used to be our enemies, we used to respect them. We used to go to other Muslim countries. They hate Islam. They hate Muslims. But when you see them Muslims from or the officers from other countries interact with American officers, it was respect. They salute each other. They eat in the same mess hall. They talk the same talk, even though they fight with each other. And I thought that was crazy when I first saw that. I'm like, they need an enemy. But they treat them with respect. And that's how we should be with the devil. We're not telling you to mistreat the devil. We're not telling you to lie to him. But there is no sincere love between black and white.
Right.
And the messenger taught us in this Muhammad Speaks newspaper, it's called Relationship of Muslims with Enemies. The messenger says, It says, it's the Holy Quran, chapter 5, verse 51. The messenger says, "O you who believe, take not the Jews and Christians for friends. They are friends of each other. And whoever amongst you take them for friends, he is indeed one of them." You one of them. Because they say birds of a feather flock together.
That's right.
So when you see a Muslim who friends with a Jew, according to the messenger, he one of them. He can talk all that white man's the devil, talk all he wants to. But if you friends with him, you trying to get other black people to accept him because you one of them too. The messenger says here, the so-called American Negro is warned by the Holy Quran in the above verse that we are not to take either one for our friends. This does not mean either one of the Muslims. It refers to you lost found members of our nation that at the end of their time, as it is today acknowledged by the scientists of religion, that it is the end of the whites as world powers and rulers, that we should not take part with them in their doom or end of their work. You shouldn't take part in that. Just like when you see this brother with this white kid, even as harsh as it might sound, you should just let him cry. In fact, he shouldn't even be going to a school with no white kids.
Right.
Shouldn't be going to no school with no white kids. We should just know that this is a time of confusion.
Yes.
It's chaos. We see all these mass shootings. So we should have enough sense to just leave the white man alone.
Right.
Let them do what they do. Because the messenger taught us to lead them to God.
That's right.
They got a doom that was set for them before they was made. That's what the messenger said.
Right.
The messenger said before the white man even was made that the gods knew what he was going to do.
That's right.
And they set a time for his doom.
Right.
But he said ain't no doom for you and me. Heaven is for you and me.
Right.
And the white man knows.
Yes.
Because why would he make this go by? This was this mother's Facebook page that she put this picture on. Why Fox News concerned about these little kids
Right.
doing this stuff? Because they trying to set an impression on the minds of black people.
Yes.
To make them go to hell with the white man.
That's what they do.
All praise to Allah. Because now that we got Muslims who going along with it, the black man ain't hearing too much about the white man being the devil. This stuff all on Facebook. All this kind of stuff is what the black man seen. And then this brother, the followers of this brother talking about they just seeking truth wherever it is. You supposed to be teaching the black man that the white man's the devil.
Right.
Right.
Especially in this day and time. The messenger said it was going to get so bad that we weren't not even going to be able to leave the house.
That's right.
That's how bad it's going to get. So how much more is these white kids going to be crying? We can't save them. The messenger said, save yourself. All praise to Allah. The messenger says, he says, the so-called Negro clergy is the false prophet. Christianity and Judaism are both condemned by God as he commands entire submission to his will of all his creatures. The white race refused. Therefore, he set a time and end of their work. The messenger constantly tells us that the white man is not in his nature to submit to Allah.
Right.
He constantly tells us that the white man is the enemy of Allah. So how can we have the enemy of Allah now? You got the Star and Crescent and the enemy of Allah teaching God's people. What kind of sense do that make? The enemy of Allah now,
Right.
we had to have temples separate from them.
Right.
Just for us to have some peace.
Right.
Now you got the enemy of Allah teaching the brother. And the brothers just sitting there like they all in, like they taking notes.
Right.
Brothers in their FOI uniform, sitting there listening to a devil teach the black man. How can you be a Muslim and you can sit up in there and let this devil? I won't want to be around brothers like that, brother.
That's right.
If they can bring a devil in the temple and teach, I solidly just get up and creep on in front of that brother.
Right.
If you can have a devil in the temple teaching,
Right.
and everybody first you'll sit around like,
Right.
out of here, brother. All praise to Allah. Ain't no devil supposed to be coming up in the temple. Because if you got Muslims who can sit up there and listen to this devil teach, then you can get a Muslim come up there and say the white man's a devil. How can you trust them? Do you believe what this devil's saying, or you believe what they saying when they talking about the message? Who you lying to? You lying to the Muslims or you lying to this devil? How you gonna trust them? Because the messenger said that the white race was made to be destroyed.
That's right.
What are he gonna teach you? They used to say back in the day, I remember listening to a lecture. The messenger said, what a 6-day-old man gonna teach you?
Right.
That's what they used to say.
Right.
6-day-old man, what he gonna teach you?
Right.
You trillions of years old. And you gonna have this 6-day-old baby teach a grown man. I heard the messenger say that. 6-day-old man.
Right.
You know that you the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, and the God of the universe. We talk that talk.
Right.
But then the devil in there teaching you
Right.
about some made up science fiction devil. That made up some religion. Made up a religion. This ain't even as old as Judaism and Christianity. This devil made this up in the 60s. So not only do you got a little 6-day-old baby teaching you, you got him teaching you a religion that ain't even 30 years old. Type of fool is you? Want to be around these kind of Muslims? No. Well, brothers and sisters, we don't want to prolong the time. So I'll leave you as I came in the nation of Islam through the words of peace of Allah.
Enjoying the show? Help keep us on the air. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033 to make a donation.
Sister, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the merciful. So, Master's day of judgment in which we now live, the alone that we serve, the alone seeks for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou bestow thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he Allah is one God, Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begat us not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is thy true servant and last apostle. Ameen. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves and treat everybody right, even the devil. Assalamu alaikum.
What the black man and woman needs to know about the nation, about the world, about themselves. Muhammad Speaks It. To order your 12-issue subscription to Muhammad Speaks newspaper, 313-371-7033. 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie is the grand champion of all bean pies. The rich flavor and smooth texture takes this pie to a whole new level of delicious. One bite and you'll understand why people all over the country call daily to order Kareem Bean Pie. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie.
This bean pie is delicious.
Kareem's Bean Pie is also available at Davison Fresh Fish Market, 1520 East 7 Mile Road in Detroit. Royal Fresh Fish and Seafood, 11429 East 7 Mile Road in Detroit. And Great Canadian Fish, Chicken, and Seafood, 7601 East 7 Mile Road. Muhammad Speaks presents Messenger Elijah Muhammad's Teachings by Minister Khalil Shabazz every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, 12609 East McNichols Road in Detroit.